Joe Mendoza here in sunny San Diego. Welcome to my show. Thanks so much for watching, subscribing, and sharing with your friends. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a great fellow from Dallas, Texas, Jorge Abreu. He's the owner of Elevate Commercial Investment Group. They have acquired $125 million in assets. That's over 1,700 doors, ladies and gentlemen. He wrote an ebook you can find on his website, Multifamily Syndication, everything you need to know as a passive investor. Welcome to the show, Jorge Abreu. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Joe. I'm excited.
All right, thanks. Yeah, me too. I'm super excited to have you on board. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to be on our show. So, George, take us back. The audience doesn't know you quite yet. They want to know George prior to real estate because they too might be wanting to transition or pivot into real estate and investing. So take us to the beginning of real estate.
Yeah, so before investing in real estate, I was studying to be an electrical engineer. At some point, I realized I really didn't want to be an engineer. I was good at numbers, and that's kind of the path I had gone down, but I wanted to start my own company and wasn't sure what. So started doing some research and started looking at successful individuals, and it kept going back to real estate. Whether it built their wealth or helped them build their wealth was real estate investing. So started looking more into it, ended up getting a coach, and then started doing some single family deals. At that point, I had a W-2 job working in the engineering department at UPS. Finally did enough consistent deals where I quit my W-2. I felt like I could be making more money outside of my full-time job. And then started doing a ton of single family, wholesales, fix and flips, holds, built from the ground up, did some small multifamily, and then that led me to about 4 years ago where I guess before that, I really wanted to scale. I wanted to be doing a large number of deals every year, and started a construction company to help with that on the fix and flips. But I was getting a little burned out, and it was very transactional. And that's when I got introduced to multifamily syndications and being able to purchase these 100+ unit apartments. And I fell in love with it. So, that I put all my focus, investments, and construction company towards multifamily, and that's how I got here.
Perfect. Now, you were in college already starting to think about real estate, got into your career, or were you like 5 years into your career? What was kind of like the timeline?
No, like before I got my degree, I was already getting pretty deep into real estate. Literally graduated and got my degree because for my mother, more than anything.
Nice.
I feel like I could have probably have maybe gone straight into real estate at that point. I had also gotten my real estate license and my mortgage broker license, so I was kind of doing that while I was figuring out the investment part. Um, yeah, so I knew I took that job at UPS in the engineering department, knowing that it wasn't going to be a long stay.
Got it. And then how long were you into single family and then started to like say, hey, you know what? I better get into syndication and start getting into multifamily.
hmm Too long, man. Too long. No, it was I want to say maybe 11 or 10 years. And it literally felt like a blink of an eye. Like, it was a lot of grinding. I don't fully regret it. I learned a lot, but just a lot of work, a lot of work.
What was probably the part you didn't like the most about fixing and flipping?
I love the taking something ugly and making it beautiful. Like that part I love. Still do, I get to do that in multifamily. Um, but just the transactional part, that it was from one deal to the next, one to the next, one to the next, um, constantly in that, I in multifamily, I'm always filling the pipeline, but it's just not so many deals.
Right, right. Now you said too long. What was the kind of like the trigger? Was it a turn of the market that you didn't have enough deals, or you got inspired by something? What was kind of like that turning point?
I think the turning point was I was starting to build a family. I have three little girls. They're 7, 5, and 4. So, I said 4 years ago, it kind of makes sense. The family was growing. Um, I had no time, and my why is my family. So I had to figure out a way to gain that freedom and be able to make the time to spend with my family.
That's powerful. Family is the driver of many. I mean, including myself. That's one of my big whys for sure. And so you have this family, you were doing these fix and flips, and some people they're watching this, listening to this, they're even watching TV, right? And seeing the glamour in the fix and flips. Is that real or not real?
It's not real, man. None of those numbers they put up there. I mean, look, we made good money. We had some awesome flips. We had some bad ones. Um, there were some that we put a ton of work into, and then at the end of the day, when you look at the profits, maybe on paper it looks good, but when you take into account the time and energy put into it, eh, maybe not.
Right, right, right. No, I get it. I've done a number of flips myself in the past, and I get it. I totally get it. So, what was the ramp up period to like get into multifamily? Like, was it an easy shift, or did you find some pushback? Like, what was kind of the transition there?
I think more than anything, it was my own mindset. Um, so I was trying to do both the single family and the multifamily at the same time, and kind of the same with the construction company. I was trying to do residential projects, commercial, multifamily, um, very spread out. um, it wasn't really till I decided, okay, I'm gonna ramp down the single family. I'm gonna get rid of whatever I have, and I'm gonna put all my focus towards multifamily. Did the same thing with the construction company. I stopped taking on residential clients, um, and that's when things really started taking off.
Now, did you have some holds in single family and started doing 1031 exchanges, or you just said, okay, I got this stack of cash, let me get into multi?
It was no holds, just some properties, some new construction properties we had built and needed to sell, a couple fix and flips, um, and some wholesale deals. But yeah, I didn't have to get rid of like a portfolio of houses.
Interesting. So you also did some ground up construction.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. So why not stay being a developer? Because some people heard that that's a really lucrative way in real estate. What was kind of like, nah, I'm not doing this either.
We were doing custom, million plus houses, and profits were good, but at the same time, a lot of headaches came with it. And it all came down to time. You only have so much time, and what am I going to focus on? Which I do development now, but um, mainly multifamily or large land. Pretty much going bigger, you know.
Got it. Got it. Okay, because so you're still in development, but more in the more commercial space, it sounds like, in the apartment space.
Yes, yes.
Got it. That makes sense. That
And I
totally
brought
makes
on a team where I'm not carrying the heavy load either.
perfect. How big is your team right now?
Between investments and construction,
Absolutely.
uh,
Payroll, employees, all of the above.
20 plus, somewhere, yeah, between 20 and 30.
And what's your specialty in the group?
Mine,
Yes.
uh, no specialty. No, I'm just kidding. I'm the
You're the visionary.
yeah, yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. I'm the visionary. I like to make sure we're all steering the same direction and everybody's on the same page. Um, and I pretty involved in acquisitions, and obviously on the capex when we do our capex projects. But yeah, I try not to get too in the day-to-day functions.
Yeah. Great leaders, typically that's what they do. They got to lead with their vision. I
Hmm.
would imagine with the engineering background, you're pretty darn good at numbers.
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Perfect. So what do you typically look for if you've got an existing performing asset? What are some of the different things you look for on the buy side right when you're about to acquire?
Things I look for as far as where we can add value or
Yeah, exactly. So like, hey, it's performing at a, you know, 8 cap, and we could do a pro forma and go this way by doing this, and this. What are some of the different specifics that you typically look for?
yeah, I mean the obvious is we always look at the rents. Can we raise the rents? Is it proven in the market? We never want to be the first to try and hit some type of rent bump. Then once we look at other income, we look at is there any other income we can add on? Same thing. We look at the market, see what they're doing, see what we think we can get away with. And then we jump into the expenses. So where do we think we can cut some expenses? Does the payroll make sense? Or um, contract services? What contracts do they have? And um, utilities is a big one. Can we come in and do some water conservation and save on utilities?
Got it. Got it. What has been one of your biggest acquisitions most recently?
Most recently, it would be we closed on a 1,275 unit portfolio. That was the end of last year.
That's fantastic. Now, portfolio, so that was like several different buildings or a mix of
Five
different assets?
properties.
Five,
Yeah,
five apartment buildings.
correct.
Nice. Good stuff. And so, when you bought it, if you don't mind sharing, it's up to you. Like, what did you buy it for? How's it performing now, etc.
Um, yeah, we came in at a pretty good basis for the area. I want to say the exact purchase price is taxes, but
Of course.
um, and collections was a little rough in the beginning of COVID. We were able to push through and get the occupancy up, and um, we've used a lot of rental assistance, like local rental assistance, and been able to help the residents so to get the collections up. Um, and we're working on getting a refi right now. So
Very nice. What was the vacancy at that point on actuals when you acquired it?
It's a good story there. It wasn't what we were told it was.
All right.
um,
Love to hear it.
yeah, I can't remember the exact. I want to say maybe high 80s is what it was supposed to be, or
Occupied or vacancy?
occupancy. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, occupancy.
So 20% vacant.
Y- no, it was either high 80s or low 90s occupancy. Um, but a lot of that was just residents that they had thrown in there. They hadn't qualified them, um, and we had to do a lot of cleanup in the beginning.
So they kind of cooked the books, you were saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow. At what point did you realize, were you already done? Did you already own it, or like mid
Oh
through the year?
yeah. We learned we should have we walked every single unit. We did our due diligence. We literally walked every single 1,275 units. Um, we should have probably walked it one more time. And done another round of verifications. Um, so we're doing that on our new acquisitions. But yeah.
Nice. Lessons learned, right?
Yep. Yep.
So what, I mean, you've got a good amount of doors. So what's kind of your business plan moving forward? I mean, are you targeting 5,000, 10,000 doors? What's kind of the model from here?
10,000 is my target right now. I had originally said by the end of next year I wanted to hit 10,000. That's before we got hit with this pandemic. That kind of threw a wrench in the plans. So target is still 10,000, just probably not by the end of next year, maybe the following year.
Nice, nice. Now, if there was a secret sauce to your success, what would that be?
Hmm. I would start with focus. I think that's really what um, helped propel um, to get to where we are now. Is just focusing. There's a lot of noise out there, and especially even just in real estate investing, there's a lot of different angles you can take, and different sectors to look into. And then the other thing is be willing to partner with others and co-GPs on deals to kind of help scale and get into more units.
Awesome, awesome. You have a great book in your background there. I'm sure
Traction.
it's probably one of your favorites. What can you share about that to the audience? I do know about the book, but I'm sure the audience, not everybody knows about the book. What do you like about that book? First off, it's Traction, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just listening to the show, what do you like about Traction?
Yeah, so I mean it's EOS. It's a pretty much a operating system for a business. I've built several businesses now, and um, I've built some without that in mind, and it can be painful. So um, it's different when you start building a business and you're building it like a business, and you actually have systems and procedures and ways to track your KPIs, keep performance indicators, and you have your team tracking their own KPIs. It just makes a huge difference. Makes it a lot easier to run the business.
Nice, nice. Now, talking about systems, do you have any favorites that you use, or are they all proprietary that you built them on your own?
Um, like you mean like software or just like?
Yeah, yeah, to run your business. Oh, yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean we use so many different softwares, almost too many. No, but I love Asana. Asana is great
Okay.
for management tasks. And then in the construction company, we have a project management software that gives access to our clients, and then obviously internally, that's been a game changer, makes managing a project a lot easier. Yeah, probably those two are my favorites.
Nice. Now, if you wanted to have one thing that people will remember you by, especially for this show, what would that one thing be?
Oof, that's a good question. One thing, man, know your why. Don't say you don't have time. It's you got to manage your time. You got to know your why, know your priorities, and then make the time and focus.
Love it. Love it. Well, I could tell you're extremely focused. You mentioned your family, you know your why. So yeah, that would probably be a good secret to your success, George. All right, man. Well, this was great and amazing. Any last advice? Somebody who's on the fence, what would you recommend? Best way is to get a hold of you.
Yeah, I've got a ton of free content. I like getting the word out there as far as one for passive investors, because I don't think it's said enough that there's alternative investments versus just stocks or putting money in your 401. And then to help investors get started and find some deals, if they go to my website, elevatecig.com, you'll see a bunch of that free content. And then if they want to go ahead and shoot me an email at Jorge, Jorge, at elevatecig.com, I can shoot them over some checklists and different things to help them get started.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Well, thank you so much, George. This was awesome. Thanks for so much for your words of wisdom and all the best.
Thank you, Joe. Same to you, man.